recently we saw kind of on social media and stuff that RFK has had a little controversy and backlash for something he said on a podcast a couple days ago. I just wanted to get your stance on what he said about the supporting abortion till, like, I guess the day before birth is what it was.
I believe he said full-term abortion.
Full-term, so yeah.
So I went on that same podcast that same day right after him, and this is Sage Steele, who's phenomenal. And she asked me that during the interview, and she was like, what do you think about Bobby's stance on, and she recited that stance. And I honestly had never heard that was what his stance was. And in fact, it's not his stance.
Oh, okay.
What he believes in is medical freedom at the end of the day, right? He doesn't think that people should be mandated to get a vaccine jab, right? He thinks that informed consent is really, really important. And part of that is this idea that women shouldn't be forced to have a child. At the same time, we are a campaign with pro-lifers on it. And so I think one of the first times in history, we have a campaign that is having this debate with, both pro-lifers and pro-choicers in the room together. And he released a beautiful, beautiful response on X talking about this position of what it really means to support a pregnant woman who's considering terminating a pregnancy. And he has always said that every abortion is a tragedy. He believes that in his heart. I mean, I think we all believe that this is not something to be taken lightly. And so the campaign stance right now is very much, looking at like terms and limits. Yeah. And the campaign very much supports limits on abortion and no viable. I mean, that is, yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. So do y'all have like I don't know if this is like, do y'all have like an official week like limit? Y'all think like from your campaign, like what would that number be?
It moves around between 15 and 18 weeks, but like as a mom, I would like to talk about this from my personal standpoint, because here's another issue with all of this being a political topic. As a woman, it is very alarming to hear the nation talking about women as if they're these, abstract beings.
Right,
we have plenty of women in this country that can speak for themselves on this topic. So I will speak for myself on this topic.
Okay. Cool.
I think that I would never personally be able to abort a child whose heartbeat and brain is strong in my body and who I can feel moving around and who I can see on the ultrasound sucking their thumb.
Yeah.
Because that is a baby that I am deeply connected with in that moment. I have had, miscarriages at like 1 month. I've had a miscarriage at 3 months. And, those were moments in which it, like 1 month didn't feel like I was losing a child, the sense of like this was not a viable child. It was sad. It was still incredibly sad and felt like a loss. But 3 months feels like a far greater loss. And then a 5 month loss is just unbearable.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I've never had a 5 month loss, but like I've been around women who have, and I can't even conceptualize how painful that would be.
Wow.
So
sorry for your loss.
Yeah, we're sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you for letting me share it in this space.
No problem. For sure. Thank you for that insight. Because none of us are mothers, so we wouldn't really know much about that.
Oh, definitely.
Talk to your mom about these things.
Okay.
Like, man, let me tell you, when you were in your mom's belly, she was as happy as could be.
Yeah.
This is how it is being a mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I guess a final question on abortion. Do you believe that it should be left up to the state, like a statewide issue?
That's really interesting, because kicking it down to the states does give it closer access to the communities. And my understanding is that, and this is what the medical freedom community believes as well, is that the communities know the answers to this question, right? The communities know how to self-organize. Having the federal government dictate anything is always going to be problematic, is always going to feel very totalitarian, especially as it relates to something as personal as our bodies. It's not the worst idea to kick it down to the state or even the local level. And, you know, historically, states have had legislation, state level legislation about abortion, on issues of abortion. And so historically, there's precedent for it. So, you know, either way, I think that the trend towards, you know, states making these decisions is good. The thing that makes me worried in those instances is it becoming, again, over politicized for election reasons, and then swinging too far. Because, you know, even very religious people in this country felt that, you know, the over politicization of this issue has led to stances that have been more extreme than they even intended.
Yeah. I feel like, again, both sides like take an issue and see how can I use this issue to push my agenda. Like, I feel like that happens a lot with almost every issue.
Everything.
Yeah. They always take what the other side says and spins it, and vice versa.
Yeah, and they spin it, and it creates fear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fear and division.
Yeah, division is the biggest thing.
I think it's that's what's pouring the water on the grass of the tribalism. Like, it's really growing it.
Yeah.
And seeing it like that. The misinformation from the agendas being pushed on both sides and the clickbaits, I think it's just making it worse.
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating is when you get it from both of them.
Right.
Like we are.
It's like we forget we're all American here. We all have the same goal. Let's make a better America. So we can all agree on that. What we can't agree on, all of us, is how. But the same goal is the same. We're all trying to make it a better place to live at the end of the day.
Yeah. I was joking the other day, wouldn't debates be cool if we were debating what our similarities were versus what our differences
There'd
were?
be a lot more similarities than a lot of people think.
Oh, most
we
definitely.
focus on the differences every time.
Most definitely.
I feel like they're still gonna find a way to have a problem, man.
They're going to find a way. They're going to find a way.